Bonjour, buenos dias, good morning. It's Tom Padula from TomPadulaTV on YouTube and Insegna Booksellers. And this morning I'm wearing, I'm going to show my t-shirt. That's the one for the French. When you're looking at it from, on my Facebook page or elsewhere. And this morning is an interesting one because the more I'm doing these lessons, the more I'm attached to them in the sense that I want to improve my French, the spoken part especially, like a French person, and the Spanish I want to improve as well. So far, the challenge is to remember what you learn, what we learn. If we learn something, we have it. For example, I have the Spanish in terms of the days of the week. Now I have it because I know lunes, martes, miércoles, jueves, viernes, sábado, domingo. So once you know something, you'll be able to repeat it. But you need to keep on practicing in order to learn the other language. And therefore, we have to be happy with whatever progress we make. That's a big one. That's really a big one. And I've been able to challenge myself in front of my students there at the University of the Third Age, and I'm expecting them to learn these basics of the language, which are easy to do. You don't need other people, but you need to start remembering words and phrases and the verbs, etc. So that's important. Now, also, I've sort of been chasing up other books for my Spanish, and I'll be able to introduce other, more easier little phrases. And of course, the songs are very important, and so are the sketches. Now, I was looking, that's why I'm a bit 1 minute late, because I was looking for my Simone fait bonne impression. Obviously, I've left it somewhere, so I'll be doing other things today instead of that. But here we go. We have to start now. Where do we start? We start always at the basics of the 9 parts of speech, which are words, articles, and adjectives. Important. Now, if we want to then start writing as well, we need to learn, at least we need to learn the present tense of être, of to be, and to have. Être and avoir in French. In Spanish, we'll have to look at them as well, so that I can learn them off by heart as well. So once you learn these by heart, then in French, je suis italienne, je suis australienne. You can make a sentence, a short sentence, and you can write sentences as much as you want. Il est un bon garçon. Elle est une jeune fille. Things like that. You can make up the sentences with the words. So, elle est une jeune et belle fille. You can use 2 adjectives. They have to agree in number and gender, in other words, feminine or masculine, and singular or plural with the noun. That with the whole thing has got to come together. And it comes together when you know how to distinguish the singular from the plural, the feminine from the masculine. Now, it's not as simple as it looks. It's the generic part, yes, that it is, but there are a lot of exceptions, especially in French, the whole categories of words that are masculine or feminine. And I'll be looking at some of these. Also, in the masculine, they can have a meaning, and in the feminine they can have another meaning. Finally, before I start the lesson proper, I just want to remind people that my commitment was not only for the French and Spanish, but to all the other languages. Now I put my languages cap on, and I thought to myself, how can people learn Chinese or Hindi or Urdu or indigenous languages, here in Australia? Well, it's simple. You can write the words in with our Romanized alphabet. I've seen it done in Japanese and Chinese, and I've looked at them, and it works. But you can do the same with all the other languages as well. So don't be scared, for example, of Hindi, and the way you can learn Hindi via the Romanized alphabet. You can learn Pashto via the Romanized alphabet. Turkish has already got it. Actually, when I read Turkish, I can be quite fluent in it, like I've done with Latin the past week. Welcome to Curtis L. Tolman. So don't be scared of learning any other language that you want, and use the Romanized alphabet. Now, our indigenous people here who didn't have an alphabet in years past, they depended on the pictures and they depended on the oral histories. In other words, passing on from one generation to the other, their stories, their poems, etc. But they did not write it down. They can now build up their own local language via the use of the Roman alphabet. The Italian alphabet has got 21 letters and English has got 26. Now, the five consonants that are available in English but not in Italian, for example, the W, the Y and the X, the J and the K. They're not available in Italian because the K is a CH or just a C followed by a consonant. So there are various ways of getting around this. Now, for other languages might have up to 36 letters of the alphabet, or ways of, the E, for example, the E can have a grave or an acute accent or a circumflex accent. It's like the tones in Chinese. So don't be scared of learning other languages. Whichever language you want, you can access it, Arabic included. Okay, because this morning I went to my grandson's, Alexander's, grandparents' day at school at Santa Teresa. And there was a little boy that said, he didn't have his grandparents. I said, all right, you can be with us, with Alexander, and I can be your grandfather for 1 hour or 2 hours. In other words, all children need older people as well, so that they can tell them stories. So it's very good that this is done in old people's homes now, all over the world. Fantastic stuff. More of it needs to be done. So let's get back now to French. And as I said to you, you need to distinguish between singular and plural, masculine and feminine. Here we are. Here we go. Okay. Oop, don't rotate. Okay. Don't rotate. My phone doesn't like it. Okay. Words with different meaning in masculine. L'aide, le critique, le guide, le livre, le manche, le mode, le moule, l'office, la page, le pendule, le poil. Oh, oui, with a circumstance. Poil. I think that's right. Le poste, le somme, le tour, le vase, le voile, the veil. And that's a good list, that one. But now, in the feminine, the same thing. L'aide, la critique, la guide, la livre, la manche, la mode, la moule, l'office, la page, la pendule, la poêle, la poste, la somme, la tour, la vase, la voile. So these are words with different meanings in masculine and feminine forms. Okay, now there's an exercise here. I'm not going to do that today, but here we go. Masculine and plural. Masculine, le garçon, les garçons, le livre, l'ami, les amis. Notice that once you get a word beginning with a vowel, the les, it's all one, les amis. Okay? La fille, la table, l'ami. Les filles, les tables, les amis. Singular and plural, both in the masculine and the feminine. Now, if you can say la jeune fille, la jeune fille, la table, well, whatever, round, can't remember, l'ami, friend, good, la bonne amie, les bons amis, etc. Nouns and articles, here we go. Nouns in S or X or Z, nouns ending in S, X or Z are like in both the singular and plural forms. Okay, so these ones here, they don't have, the ending is like that. Now, you don't have to learn off by heart. You'll learn this as you go along. Le bras, la foi, le verre, le prix, la voix, le nez. Les bras, les foies, les verres, les prix, les voix, les nez. Okay, so these are the special types of words, categories of words that behave in a particular way. There are exceptions to the general rule. Nouns ending AU, EAU, EU or OEU. So in or, you, and So, le noyau, le bateau, le château, la peau, le feu, le jeu, the. For example, we got the circumflex accent there, like le château. Now, the A could be le château or le château. So, but when it's a circumflex accent on the vowel, you get a straightforward pronunciation. Le château. This one here, the plural of this, okay? You add the X. Add X to form the plural. Les noyaux, les bateaux, les châteaux, les pots, les feux, les jeux, les vœux. Now, if you're an adult, you don't need to learn this off straight away. You just need to be aware that some words are like that. And therefore, this is not French. This is about French, the French language. Therefore, these rules are found in grammar books. But not all grammar books cover the whole lot. Some of them cover only a few because they've got grammar comprehension methods. So they like to concentrate more on the speaking part. So they give you little stories, etc. This is pure grammar. Better. Because then when you want to do the practice, you just do it. You don't have to mix it up necessarily. This is more clear. Okay, exceptions. Le landau, carriage. Le pneu, the tire. Les landaux, les pneus. So these are the exception to this rule. Next one. Nouns ending in OU, ou. Le cru, le sou, le trou. Generally add an S to form the plural. Les crus, les sous, les trous. Next one. Some nouns ending in O and X to form the plural. Some nouns ending in O add X instead. Some them add the S and some the X. Which one is which? Don't worry about it. Just take note. Le bijou, le caillou, le chou, le genou, le hibou, le joujou, le pot. Les bijoux, les cailloux, les choux, les genoux, les hibou, les joujou, les poux. So in other words, here, you will find them in when you are reading. So the reading part. Sometimes you'll say, you'll get le clou et les bijoux, the nail and the jewels. Le clou, or les clous, in the plural, et les bijoux. Even though they both end in OU, one takes the S and the other one takes the X. They say, oh, am I supposed to remember that? Don't worry about it. It's that the practice will give it to you. A French person knows that automatically because they've been to school. And we only do French for a few hours each week in a classroom. So if you think about it, there are 40 weeks in a school year. Let's say 3 periods per week. It's 120 hours of teaching a week. Sorry, for the year, because there are 4 days. It's a bit more, but it doesn't. In my calculation, it doesn't come to more than a couple of weeks of actual presentation of the French language in a classroom. And it's staggered as well. It's not continuous. Therefore, unless the student studies, you haven't got a hope in the world to learn it. In learning, you have to remember as well. Now, don't be scared because this is finite knowledge. It's not something that, it's once you learn it, you know it. The next one. I'll do this page as well, okay? All right. Many nouns ending in AL in the singular change AL to AU, X to form the plural. For example, l'animal, le cheval, l'hôpital, le journal. Les animaux, les chevaux, les hôpitaux, les journaux. Le bal, le carnaval, le festival. The exceptions, this one's here. Les bals, les carnavals, les festivals. Same as the OU. So you've got to remember that, that X and the S sometimes, some is regular, etc., etc. Many nouns ending in IIL and S to form the plural. Le chandail, le détail, le ventail, fan. Les chandails, les détails, les éventails. Exceptions, le bail, le travail, le vitrail, the lease, work, and stained glass. Les baux, les travaux, les vitraux. And irregular plurals, l'aïeul, le bonhomme, le ciel, le gentilhomme, l'œil, monsieur, madame, mademoiselle. And you got here, les aïeux, les bonhommes, les cieux, les gentilshommes, gentilshommes, les yeux, messieurs, mesdames, mesdemoiselles. Notice the S there. Gentil, the S before the homme. So both, because it's a combined word, adjective word, les gentilshommes. And here we've got family names to do not add S to the form of the plural. Les Dupont, the Duponts. So in the French, the Padula, les Padula, my surname. But in English, the Padulas, you add the S, which I don't like because then it changes the actual surname. But you refer to the whole lot. So again, these are things that languages, I think with the French, because they've had a longer history, they worked it out that if you say Les Padulas, then the surname is changed. Therefore, Les Dupont, the surname, is not changed at all, which is a better way of doing it linguistically than the English. Okay, so that's it for today, for this one here. Now, I deserve a song. I deserve a song after that. That's been a very good, very good. Because now I'm getting to write books to access in order to teach these rules. So I have the resources. That's what I'm saying. Unless you have the resources, it's difficult. It's difficult. Where do I put my song? Okay. Now this song here I did this week at the University of the Third Age, and I'm doing it for them as well. La Nuit, okay? And Salvatore Adamo is the singer. So here we go. Will I show it to you? Yes, I will. So you can sing too. Here we go. Si je t'oublie pendant le jour, je passe mes nuits à te maudire. Et quand la lune se retire, j'ai l'âme vide et le cœur lourde. La nuit tu m'apparais immense, je tends les bras pour te saisir, mais tu prends un malin plaisir à tes joies de mes avances. La nuit, je deviens fou. Et puis ton rire fend la noire, et je ne sais plus où chercher. Quand tout s'était, revient l'espoir, et je me reprends à tes mères. Tantôt tu me reviens fugace, et tu m'appelles pour me naguère. Mais chaque fois, mon sang se glace, ton rire vient tout effacer. La nuit, je deviens fou. Le jour dissipe ton image, et tu repars, je ne sais où, vers celui qui te tient en cage, celui qui va me rendre fou. La nuit, je deviens fou. So in other words here, when I was singing it, I made a couple of mistakes. A couple of mistakes in the pronunciation because I don't speak French all the time, and therefore, for example, un malin plaisir, I said, which should be un malin plaisir. But when you sing, even if you make a couple of mistakes, it doesn't matter. Now, if you want to learn this song here, go to Chrome or Google or Safari and write down La Nuit lyrics. And then you can listen to Salvatore Adamo, because if I let you listen to this on my program, the copyright people cut me out. So I do it with my own voice. Nobody can say anything, really, because here we need to learn, we need to access, things should be free when it comes to learning, because, teaching and learning are important tools for all societies, and therefore, the copyright people should be aware of that. Now, I don't make the laws, they do, and the laws are not always, what they should be, but they are the laws that people make for various reasons. So that's it, La Nuit. Okay? So, welcome to Salva Scola. Good to see you being interested in French. Wonderful. Okay, the next thing that we're going to do there is, I will do the Spanish. Now, the Spanish is the same as with the French, but I will leave it to later. I'm going to do the French first, and then I will dedicate about a quarter of an hour. I'll go over the half hour today to dedicate a bit of time to Spanish, because I want to learn it as well, and we can learn it together and have a look. Now, I'm going to do now there's a book here that's called Nous parlons français. Okay? And here it is. Let me have a look. Here, we've done quite a few of the words in previous lessons, and this one here has a whole paragraph, the first paragraph from this book. So I'm going to show it to you, and I'm going to read it to you first. Okay? Madame Capel, journaliste de Paris, fait un voyage aux États-Unis. Elle est de passage à New York où elle a pris une chambre dans un hôtel de Manhattan. Mademoiselle Capel est dans sa chambre. Elle a mis son chapeau et son sac à main sur le lit et a pris son porte-mine pour noter quelques adresses et numéros de téléphone dans son agenda. Un groom apporte ses bagages. Derrière elle, par la fenêtre de sa chambre, on voit les gratte-ciel de New York. Here we go. Now, some words there, one of the words I think is in English, but it doesn't matter. Languages are what they are. Madame Capel, journaliste de Paris, fait un voyage aux États-Unis. Elle est de passage à New York où elle a pris une chambre dans un hôtel de Manhattan. Mademoiselle Capel. Madame Capel is the mother. Mademoiselle Capel is the daughter. Est dans sa chambre. Elle a mis son chapeau et son sac à main sur le lit et a pris son porte-mine pour noter quelques adresses et numéros de téléphone dans son agenda. Un groom apporte ses bagages. Derrière elle, par la fenêtre de sa chambre, on voit les gratte-ciel de New York. So, when you're looking at... Now, the next thing you say, but I don't understand all that. Okay. Well, the way to do it when you get anything, any piece of, any paragraph from French, you can underline the words that you know. Welcome to Assunta Lombardi. And now, you underline the words that you don't know. You underline the words that the ones that you know, you can keep. But if there are more words that you don't know than you know, you do it in reverse. So, that's the French. That's the French here today. Now, there are also questions about the paragraph that we've just read. And the questions are, qui est Madame Capel? De quelle nationalité est-elle? Qu'est-ce qu'elle fait aux États-Unis? Est-ce qu'elle est de New York? Est-ce qu'elle est à New York? Ou est-ce qu'elle a pris une chambre? Est-ce que Manhattan est dans New York? Où est Mademoiselle Capel maintenant? Où est-ce qu'elle a mis son chapeau et son sac à main? Est-ce que son parapluie est aussi sur le lit? Qu'est-ce qu'elle a pris pour écrire dans son agenda? Qui apporte ses bagages? Où est la fenêtre? Qu'est-ce qu'on voit par la fenêtre? Est-ce que la fenêtre est devant Mademoiselle Capel? Okay, so here we go. And if you wanted to learn, you say, okay, qui est Madame Capel? Madame Capel est une femme, is a woman. De quelle nationalité est-elle? Madame Capel est française. Qu'est-ce qu'elle fait aux États-Unis? What is she doing in New York? Je ne sais pas. I don't know. So I'm not answering the question because she says, Madame Capel, journaliste de Paris. So she's a journalist from New York. So she wants to tell some stories. She's a journalist. Est-ce qu'elle est de New York? Non, elle n'est pas de New York. Est-ce qu'elle est à New York? Is she in New York? Oui, elle est à New York. Où est-ce qu'elle a pris une chambre? Where is she getting a room? Où à l'hôtel. Isn't it hotel? Let's have a look. Elle a pris une chambre dans un hôtel de Manhattan. So the answer is there. Où est-elle qu'elle a pris? Où est-ce qu'elle a pris une chambre? Elle a pris une chambre dans un hôtel de Manhattan. Où est Mademoiselle Capel? Mademoiselle Capel est dans sa chambre. I remember that. Où est-ce qu'elle a mis son chapeau et son sac à main? Where she put her hat and sac à main, handbag. Hein? Elle a mis son chapeau et son sac à main sur le lit, on the bed. Est-ce que son parapluie est aussi sur le lit? No mention of parapluie, which is a parapluie. You know, when it rains, what does it say? I'm forgetting in English. Whatever. You know what I'm talking about. No, never mind. Est-ce que son parapluie n'est pas, it's not sur le lit, it's not on the bed. Okay? And I needed one this morning in parapluie because it was raining. Okay? And that's, now when you forget like that, you know, you're doing two languages, it doesn't come to you straight away. Don't worry about it. I'm not worried about it. I know the English word, it's not coming. So when it's not coming, you have to forgive yourself. What do? I go around with what an idiot Tom is because he doesn't know what an umbrella is. I know it's an umbrella, but I didn't remember just a minute ago. So you're going to forgive yourself? Of course you do. Qu'est-ce qu'elle a pris? Qu'est-ce qu'elle a pris pour écrire dans son agenda? What is a notebook, no? So, elle a pris pour écrire dans son numéro de téléphone. Pris son porte-mine. Porte-mine is the agenda, the notebook. You can guess it as well. That's another one. Qui apporte ses bagages? Le groom apporte ses bagages. Où est la fenêtre devant mademoiselle? Qu'est-ce qu'on voit par la fenêtre? On voit New York. Est-ce que la fenêtre est devant Madame Capel? Oui. And that's the question and answer. Now it's 11:58. Will we do one more song in French and then we'll go to the Spanish? Because I've decided I'll give it more time. Okay, to Spanish as well. And we did French. Let's do this one here. It's easy. Non, rien de rien. Non, je ne regrette rien. Ni le bien qu'on m'a fait, ni le mal. Tout ça m'est bien égal. Non, rien de rien. Non, je ne regrette rien. C'est payé, balayé, oublié. Je me fous du passé. Avec mes souvenirs, j'ai allumé le feu. Mes chagrins, mes plaisirs, je n'ai plus besoin de balayer les amours avec leurs nuits trémoloses. Balayer pour toujours, je reparte à zéro. Rien, non, rien de rien. Non, je ne regrette rien, ni le bien qu'on m'a fait, ni le mal, tout ça m'est bien égal. Non, rien de rien, non, je ne regrette rien, car ma vie, car mes joies, aujourd'hui, ça commence avec toi. That's beautiful. Now, Edith Piaf, look it up. Edith Piaf, you can go to Google, look up Edith Piaf, and then Rien de Rien is one of her famous songs. And you can also go, of course, to, what else? Look up the lyrics. You can get the translation of them to check up your French. But if you want to learn French, learn the words. Non, rien de rien. Non, je ne regrette rien. The R. Okay, that's the phonology. We're going to stop there for today with the French, and I'm going to now do the Spanish. Let me see. Let me see. And what will I start with today with the Spanish? I'm going to start with a song. I believe in songs, really and truly. For learning, they're wonderful. Wonderful. Okay. I've got Historia de un Amor, but I don't remember. But I know Quando Caliente el Sol. Okay. Welcome to Antonio Danzi and, of course, Angela Imela. Thank you very much for coming on. Okay, let's go. All together, huh? Cuando caliente el sol aquí en la playa, siento tu cuerpo vibrar cerca de mí. Es tu palpitar, es tu cara, es tu pelo, son tus besos, me estremezco cuando calienta el sol. Cuando calienta el sol aquí en la playa, siento tu cuerpo vibrar cerca de mí. Es tu palpitar, tu recuerdo, mi locura, mi delirio, me estremezco cuando calienta el sol. Cuando calienta el sol. And then there's the music and the English part, etc. But now I'm going to tell you something. If you want to learn these songs with me, I have Dora and Rino Marchese coming to this Sunday's event, my event, at Federazione Lucana from 3:30 p.m. till 5 p.m. We're going to sing 12 Italian songs to begin with, and I'm trying to form a little group of people, interested people, who want to be part of a singing group that we meet once a month, and da cosa nasce cosa, il tempo la governa. So from things, other things are born, and time will tell. Because up to now I've been struggling trying to get some people there. So if anyone comes, I really appreciate it. And if you are interested in French or Spanish or Italian, then that group there will grow with the songs from the various things from these three places. But I have the opportunity to use the facilities at Federazione Lucana, and I've been at it for 2 years now, 3 years, trying to convince them that to go with languages and cultures, because otherwise those clubs will only do really the dinner dances. Basically, they are the success one. The dancing part too, sometimes more than others. The good groups of people, ballo liscio, what they call ballo liscio. But really, a club like that, it should be a meeting place for games, sport, which they do. But culture, no. History, for example, straight after the choir at 5 o'clock, the secretary, Santo Martino, Leonardo Santo Martino, has agreed that we should do together 1 hour on getting to know Basilicata region, because Leonardo and I were in primary school together for 3 years in the same class. Maestro Vicino would be very happy for us to do something together. So I'm very happy for that. So you can stay for that extra hour or you can go, it's up to you. So from 3:30 p.m. on Sunday, the 28th, till 6 o'clock, I'll be busy with whoever comes. Okay, now let's do the Spanish. And I have here, I'm going to start here. From the beginning of this, I'll use many books, but this is a good one to start with, okay? So, let's have a look. Here we go. See that? La sala y la cocina. The living room and the kitchen. No es el gato, ¿no? La sala, el modelo. Es el televisor. No, señor, señorita. No, señor o señorita, señora. No es el televisor, es el gato. So, ¿Es el televisor? No, señor. No, señorita. No, señora. No es el televisor. No es el gato. And then the cat is there. ¿Es el gato? ¿Es el gato? Yes or no? No es, it is not. Es el gato. So the question was, ¿es el gato? And you answer, ¿es el gato? Yes. No es el gato. We got the next one. ¿Es la puerta? It's a telephone, of course. ¿Es la radio? El radio? So there are two there. So, no es la puerta. No es el radio. So you get two. Es la puerta. It's the door. Es el teléfono. Es la lámpara. Okay? Es el hermano. The man. Es la hermana. La hermana, el hermano. Es la lámpara. Es el hermano. Es la hermana. Es el disco. No, es el tavolo. I think it's tavolo. I hope so. But anyway, let's have a look. Es la ventana. La ventana, that's the window. Maybe yes, maybe not. Es el teléfono. Es la cocina. Es la sala. The idea is to say yes or no. Sí or no. Okay? So this is now remember these words in order to answer questions in the lessons that follow. ¿Qué? What? ¿Quién? Who? ¿Dónde? Where? ¿Cómo es? What is? All right? Okay. Let's go on a bit more now. Preguntas. Okay. ¿Qué es esto? ¿Qué es esto? ¿Qué es esto? ¿Qué es esto? Es el computadores. Es una computadora. Es una computadora. Es una computadora. ¿Qué es esto? Es un lápiz. ¿Qué es esto? What is this? ¿Qué es esto? 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 So we got the first one. ¿Qué es esto? Es un libro. Es un cuaderno. Es una sedia. I can't remember how to say chair. Anyway, it doesn't matter. Es una whatever. Un quadro. Es una penna. Whatever. In Italian. So if you mix up Italian and Spanish, don't worry, they'll understand you anyway. Es un CD. Okay? Sí, señor. Sí. We had no before. We never saw sí. Sí, señor. Sí, señorita. Sí, señora. Es un CD. Un CD, not C. Sí, CD. In Spanish. Es un papel. Es un cuaderno. See? It looks like a book, not an exercise book. Es un teco. What's teco? I don't remember. Es un lápiz, colored pencil. But it's a pen. So, write an answer to the following question for each of the pictures seen below. ¿Qué es esto? Es un libro. And you got to do that. So, I have a few of these books. If anyone is interested in Spanish, I have a few of these books, and you can come and, see me, and we'll talk about it. Okay. Es un hombre. ¿Quién es? ¿Qué es? ¿Quién es? Etc., etc. All right. So that's enough for one day. I think it is. But I want to do a bit of Spanish to reading, because I think my reading has improved. El Cid. I want to do El Cid. I want to show you, how I challenge myself. I didn't put it down, but we were on number 5. We were in capítulo 5, La derrota de los principios moros de Valencia. So, this is number 6, capítulo 6. Capítulo 6. See, I remember the Numbers, capítulo 6. Batalla contra el conde de Barcelona. Here we go. Exhumen al bando del Cid de caballeros de Castilla y León. El Cid marcha entonces por las tierras del sur y el este de Aragón, que estaban bajo el amparo de San Ramón de Berenguer, conde de Barcelona. El Cid había herido en tiempos pasados a un sobrino del conde y no había enmendado su ofensa. Por esta razón el conde le tenía rencor al Cid. El conde de Don Ramón reunió un gran ejército de moros y cristianos y salió contra el Cid. Al enterarse el campeador dijo: díganle al conde Don Ramón que no me tome esto a mal. De lo suyo nada levo y que me deje ir en paz. Pero el conde respondió: lo de antes y lo de ahora, todo me lo pagaría el desterrado. Los soldados del conde atacaron cuesta abajo. Sus caballos tenían monturas coseras y levaban las cinchas flojas. Los del Cid tenían monturas galegos. Atacando cuesta arriba, derribaron a los de Don Ramón. Yeah, I've had enough. Now, did I understand any of that? Yes, I did a few things, but obviously I need to work at it a lot more. And so, that's it for today. I think my half an hour is more than... we should really learn the days of the week, the months of the year, the seasons. So let's go through it together. You have to learn the following. Les días de la semana. Los días de la semana, I think so. The days of the week. Lunes, martes, miércoles. Jueves, viernes, sábado, domingo. The seasons. The seasons. La primavera, el verano, el otoño, el invierno. The months of the year: enero, febrero, marzo, abril, mayo, junio, julio, agosto, septiembre, octubre, noviembre, diciembre. The numbers: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 30, etc., etc. But there is also now, so I've conquered those more or less. I've conquered the days of the week, the months of the year, the seasons, and the numbers. And I will go up to 100 one of these days. But now the challenge is to learn a couple of the verbs so that we can make sentences. One of them is I have. In Spanish, the present indicative tense of the verb to be is actually tener in Spanish. And the present tense is yo tengo, tú tienes, ella tiene, nosotros tenemos, vosotros tenéis, ellos o ellas tienen. So these are the ones here. That's what for example, I take io tomo, it's the same as in Italian. So I'm very lucky that I have the resources here for me to, to access in order for us to learn the languages that you want. Here, let's have a look at the numbers before I leave you today. There they are. You find them in most books. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. So there you are. Okay? And on that note, I want to thank you all for today. I've gone over time, but I think I will go over time on Fridays in order to bring in more of the Spanish, because I'm making good progress with it. I'm getting familiar with it, and therefore we can, I hope you get inspired to learn another language, even if you just improve the language that you already know from your grandparents or your parents, like Italian. If your Italian is not perfect, then get involved in my lessons and go for it. Enjoy it. It's a wonderful intellectual pastime. And on that note, au revoir, adios from Tom Padula of TomPadulaTV on YouTube, and of course Insegna Booksellers. And now this presentation podcast lesson will go on my Facebook page and eventually into the other platforms. Alla prossima settimana. See you next week.